Welcome to this explainer. Okay, so let's jump right into a pretty massive, kind of fascinating philosophical question. Can a city's economic zones, its layout, or even just its building heights actually preserve your soul, your life, and your wealth? I mean, it sounds like an impossible task for city planners, right? But today, we're going to explore exactly how physical infrastructure can be purposefully designed to protect our deepest human values.
To figure this out, we're unpacking some truly brilliant insights from Dr. Ahmed Mansour al-Muslimi's blueprint for urban planning. And what's absolutely incredible about his work is how it proves that an authentic Islamic vision isn't just, some abstract theological concept. It actually has highly practical, tangible applications in contemporary urban design. It's honestly fascinating to see how these ancient, abstract principles map so cleanly onto modern zoning laws to build cities that genuinely work for the people living in them. So here's our roadmap for today. We'll look at planning with an Islamic vision, outline the Sharia objectives in urbanism, and then jump into a real-world case study of New Minawat, exploring the economy and preserving religion, industry and preserving life, and finally, economic diversity and wealth.
Section 1. Planning with an Islamic vision. Before we look at blueprints and maps, we really need to establish the foundational context here.
Right, so the core principle we're dealing with is a golden rule in Islamic jurisprudence. Warding off harm takes precedence over bringing benefits. In the context of urbanism, think of this as the ultimate compass. It literally means that before you even think about building a beautiful park or some massive shopping mall, you absolutely must ensure the city's design actively protects its citizens from physical, economic, and spiritual harm. Safety and ethical grounding, they have to come way before aesthetics or quick material gains.
Which brings us to Section 2, Sharia Objectives in Urbanism. Let's see how this golden rule actually translates into measurable objectives for the spaces we live in every single day.
The source material perfectly organizes these big-picture goals into three traditional objectives, which are known as the maqasid of Sharia. Number 1, preserving religion. 2, preserving life. And 3, preserving wealth. Essentially, everything a city planner does should theoretically support these three pillars, and they're going to serve as the rhythmic backbone for our explainer today.
Moving right along to Section 3, Case Study, New Minya. Because, let's be real, theory is just theory until it's actually built, right?
To keep things grounded, Dr. al-Muslimi's book doesn't just blindly praise the city. It really puts New Minya to the test, rigorously analyzing its economic, social, and environmental layout to see if it actually walks the walk. It's a true test of applying profound values to literal concrete and asphalt. And today, we're going to focus heavily on the economic structural decisions that shape the daily reality for the people living there. Section 4, Economy and Preserving Religion. Let's tackle this first pillar and see how a city's economic sector can be designed to preserve core ethical values. So New Minya successfully applies this by intentionally avoiding architectural extravagance and, this is key, standardizing building heights across the city. Now you might be wondering, why does that matter? Well, it creates a sense of visual and structural equality. It literally prevents massive, ostentatious towers from casting shadows over modest homes. By doing this, it actively curtails social envy and bakes the values of modesty and community cohesion right there into the skyline. Pretty cool, right? Okay, now let's look at the actual economics of empowerment, because the precise numbers here are super fascinating. The city actively encourages its citizens to own industrial land by making it incredibly accessible. For example, with a 25% down payment, land is offered at just 50 Egyptian pounds per square meter. Or if you can only swing a 10% down payment, the price is just slightly adjusted to 70 Egyptian pounds. The whole system is intentionally designed to be flexible, pulling people into the economy, rather than, pricing them out.
But wait, it actually gets better. They completely remove that heavy immediate financial burden, because remember, warding off harm is the priority here. They do this by allowing the remaining balance to be paid over 3 equal annual installments. And the best part? This comes with a super generous 3-year grace period after receiving the land. Planners intentionally structure the whole shebang so businesses have the time they need to build, operate, and actually generate revenue before they get hit with massive debt. This is literally an ethical economy in action.
All of this brings us to a really fascinating question, one that totally bridges abstract Sharia law and modern economics. How does an industrial zone, factories, warehouses, logistics, how does that actually contribute to preserving human life?
Let's jump into Section 5, Industry and Preserving Life, to uncover the answer and see exactly where livelihood and geography intersect. The answer really lies in intentional placement and opportunity.
By establishing a dedicated industrial zone specifically 6 kilometers south of the city, planners essentially did two things. First, that 6-kilometer buffer, that keeps industrial pollution and noise far away from residential areas, again warding off physical harm to the citizens' health. Second, by creating this robust new economic base, they provided abundant, essential job opportunities. Securing the citizens' livelihood is considered a direct way of preserving their life and dignity. I mean, you simply can't preserve life if the people have no way to feed their families, for sure.
Finally, Section 6, Economic Diversity and Wealth. Let's look at our third pillar, how a city's overarching design can safeguard collective wealth.
The crucial strategy here is all about economic resilience. The General Authority for Urban Planning explicitly designed New Minya with a highly diverse economic base. They didn't just put all their eggs in one basket with the industrial sector. By significantly integrating the tourism sector alongside industry, planners are basically protecting the city's overall wealth from market crashes in any single area. They diversify the income streams right at the foundational level of the city's blueprint.
So, let's synthesize what we've actually learned today. True urbanism isn't just about endless, unchecked expansion. As we can clearly see from New Minya's example, a master plan can successfully weave together these three pillars: preserving religion through modest design, preserving life through safe and accessible livelihoods, and preserving wealth through economic diversity. It harmonizes the prevention of harm with the demands of modern economic growth to create a truly resilient city.
Ultimately, what we've discovered in this explainer is that urban planning is far, far more profound than just pouring concrete or paving roads. A city is literally the physical manifestation of the values we hold dearest. Every single zoning law, every building height restriction, every land purchasing contract, it's all a reflection of how a society actually views human dignity.
As we wrap things up, I want to leave you with this final thought. Tomorrow, when you're commuting or just going for a walk, take a good look around your own city and ask yourself, how is its layout silently shaping your daily well-being? Is your city actually designed to preserve your life and your core values, or is it just built to maximize profit? Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive, and definitely keep questioning the world built around you.